Hey guys, I don't know when they're gonna let me upload this video. We've had a lot of issues with suspensions and all that lately. Fun stuff. But today I just wanted to do an updated version of our, let me actually show it this time. The rough racking issue. Let me show what I mean. Not one in here right now. This one here, I intentionally picked one that's gonna not work in this gun. It's got the high shelf internals when it's not a high shelf. But just because of, I mean, all these guns are so different. I explained that in the last video. The length of the activator I've found is actually a better indicator, or a better, what am I saying? It's more likely to be your issue, pretty much. So this is what it'll do, this is what I'm talking about. That's as far as it'll go back. It gets hung right there. Can't do anything. So before, I told everyone to do the whole lever shaving thing. You can still do that. That's more if it's coming back and you can get it back, but it's really difficult. That's rough racking. This is more like a stuck racking issue. And what's causing that is this piece, your activator. That is slightly too long for your gun. Our high shelf model comes with this longer by default, just because we found that for some reason, those guns are so different from one another. I have no idea why. So we'd rather you have more material as opposed to not enough material. You can always just file it, bring it down a little bit. But that being said, we're also gonna start offering a something you can add on to your purchase, like a it's like a 3D printed version of the whole setup, so you can tune the 3D printed part instead of, you know, before you do this, pretty much. So you know what you're supposed to do. It was a great idea that someone showed us. Now, I'm gonna show you why we don't just do this by default. Where's the punch at? This is a standard one, right? The normal low shelf one. This is why we can't just send them to you guys pre-tuned or whatever for this, because that might be a question you have. And again, I'm trying this one. And I'll show you, look, the length on the activators there is a lot different. So, just gonna push it in, putting it back together. And I would have just had two put together here, but so you believe me, I'm gonna use the exact same FRD, exact same everything pretty much, except for the activator is gonna be a little bit shorter on this one. Which, by the way, if you have a high shelf gun and it's doing this, and you bought a low shelf or a Terminator, this is not your issue, more than likely. If you have the high shelf FRD, which looks like this, then this is probably what you will probably have to do this if you bought the high shelf one for your high shelf gun. But if you have the low shelf FRD, trying to put it into a high shelf gun, this probably is not the issue. There's several other issues with that. Yeah, I'm gonna put that back in. There we go. Okay, now, here, look at that. Wow, that's great. That's wonderful, that's wonderful. Until I put it into the third position. And this one's kind of on and off, but let's see. See? If I barely put my finger on it, it'll reset, but if I pull the trigger, it's not doing it because the bar isn't long enough. So, this is pretty, you know, obvious at this point what I'm gonna tell you to do. This time though, unlike the other video, I'm actually gonna be able to show it to you. I'm gonna put this one back in. And the great thing is you don't even have to disassemble the thing. So, a lot of our metal products come glued to fix the pin walking issue that can happen with time and wear. But the only other tool you'll need right now is a file Sandpaper works. I just share. This is that one with the long thing in it. Okay. Again. That's as far back as it goes. But it is resetting, so that's great. Yeah, let me go and grab the file real quick, and I'll show you what you're supposed to do. Okay, so I found something. Maybe it'll work. I'm gonna change the angle here, just slightly, to show you what I'm doing. So this is a very, very rough file. But again, I'm just gonna take that piece, just this piece, I'm gonna put it on this. Okay. Okay. So after that little bit of tuning there, let's see what we got. So it'll come back here now, like that. It just gets stuck. Same issue, by the way. It's the exact same issue. Because I can do like this, it just goes right back. We're getting very close here. So I'm gonna file it a little bit more, and I'll show you the results. 1 second. Figured I'd just go ahead and show you me doing it, because we are very close. Like I say, guys, it doesn't take much at all. Like I said, also sandpaper works. You can use your power tools if you want, like your Dremel, your belt sander. Just know that if you take off too much doing that, we're not going to refund you because you did that. Like I said, I would always suggest getting the tester on the site. It's not on there right now, but it will be tonight. I'm not sure how much we'll charge for it. It won't be much. Okay, let's try this out now. Same tape. Not even gonna cut it. I'm gonna do this underneath the table real quick. I promise no magic tricks, just YouTube can't see me doing this. Okay. Hold up. There we go. Let's see. Same thing. Now at this point, you could probably take it out and shoot it and it would fix itself, but I'm not going to recommend that. If you just get tired of grinding it at that point, if you're able to get it all the way back, you should be to the point at that point where you can just shoot it and it fixes itself. The thing is, like I was telling you guys, look, you can take too much off doing this. That's the one worry you have. Not really if you're doing it the way I'm doing it right now, just taking a little bit off, then going in and trying again. But if you get impatient and just take a ton off all at once, you're probably gonna mess it up to where it won't work anymore, like I showed earlier. Hold up. Still doing it. Okay. Okay, keep going at it because you don't want to take too much off. Okay. So now you're saying there's no resistance going forward, just on the way back, we're getting some. Which sometimes you can even get that to work itself out pretty easy. Doing that. But I wouldn't sit there and spam that. It's gonna hurt when you have one of these. It's easy for me to do with this one. But again, we're just gonna keep doing the same thing. And of course you can always, let me show you here. You can always try this out too. This typically isn't the issue, at least for this problem, but you can try doing this. With the lever there, take a bit off. You can always try that out. That's not gonna hurt. Just don't take too much off. I've seen a lot of people on the last video, they will just watch the first minute or so and just do this. They won't watch the part where it says to do this, and they'll just grind it down to nothing, and they'll get upset because it didn't work. It didn't work because your problem wasn't here, it was here. We're getting close though. Okay, see? Same thing. Oh, I think we got it. That's good. You can see a little better because I just gotta like tap it now. Let's see. I definitely say if you get to this point, you can just take it out there and shoot it, more than likely, and it's just gonna fix it. It's not gonna break your gun doing that. And honestly, guys, this is why we kind of moved away from the FRD 500. I'll talk to you guys about the realities of these in just a moment. There we go. Let's put it back here. There we go. Took about 11 minutes for me to fix that. And works great now. Resetting and everything, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so I was gonna talk a little bit at the end of the video here about the realities of these devices. A lot of people I've seen online who make similar things want to claim, and a lot of people who make FRTs in general want to claim that theirs will drop in to any gun, just drops right in. And while I would argue that the fact that you don't have to do any modification to the gun itself still makes it drop in, it is misleading. It's misleading because no matter what you do to these, you're not going to get one that's going to be universal for every single gun to where it just works. There's too many differences, all that. Which is why we moved away from our, let me see if I have any, I don't think I do. The AR 500 internals that we had, that we were selling on the old site. If you're somebody who has the means to have, the power tools to put it in there and fix it using those, it's perfect. They were incredible. They're probably the best running FRTs I've ever used. But when it comes to the average person, you want a softer metal like this, a metal that's not going to wear down in the gun, but will be easy to fix. I used a random file I found here in the shop. You can use sandpaper. I just couldn't find any. It's a mess, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, that's why we moved away from those super hard steels. We might go back to that, but again, we're going to market them as something that's for someone who knows what they're doing, someone who has the machines to fix it, to work in their gun. Or what, you're never gonna get this to where it's gonna drop into every single gun. It'll drop into a lot of them, but there's nothing we can ever do to make this drop into this gun that would make it still work in another gun. If I were to make this drop in to this particular gun, if I were to put it into my PSA that we use a lot, the little short one, it just wouldn't work. If I had it down here, I'd show you that this wouldn't work. Too short. So you got to think about that. When you buy these, it's always going to be tuning for the most part, depending on your gun. Some people don't have to. A lot of people don't have to, but a lot of people do at the same time because there's so many different tolerances, so many different guns, which is why we moved away from the harder steels. We're gonna bring them back probably because they were very popular, but again, we're gonna have warnings when you purchase it, saying that you're gonna have to tune this for your gun, and it's not gonna be able to be done with a file very easily like these. But yeah, if you have any more questions, anything like that, leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching. Hope this helped. Hope this helped a lot. And yeah, good to see you all again.